for a couple more people to jump on here before we start. Otherwise, I gotta repeat everything. Right now, I am in Georgia. Not exactly storm chasing right now. We're going to be discussing yesterday's event. Just waiting for everybody to jump on here. That way, like I said, we don't have to repeat ourselves 15,000 times. I'm getting on I-75 and heading north of Georgia. Good morning, everyone. We're going to be discussing yesterday and the tornado intercept that we had yesterday. And kind of explain some of that and explain why I'm not in Florida right now like I had planned. Looked at some data this morning and it just didn't look that great. It was only about 3 hours from Florida. I could have made it in time, but it just didn't look that great. And I'm glad we didn't go because I wouldn't have made it to the event that produced the tornadoes. Yep, as you can see, we're just streaming off of the phone today, so I apologize for any low quality. I'm headed north right now. There is a slight risk for severe weather today in portions of Florida and eastern North Carolina, southeastern Virginia. Had some tornado warnings in the early morning hours in Florida. But the main thing I wanted to discuss, as you probably have figured out from the thumbnail, is yesterday. Yesterday we had that very photogenic tornado occur in Georgia, of all places. Better quality today. Yeah, his phone, there was like no signal yesterday. It was rough. I was trying to upload the video, even in that town of Cordell. I still could barely get anything. It was really bad. But yeah, that's the first order of business. If you guys are interested in watching that tornado yesterday and actually watching it in nicer quality than what was streamed, definitely go look at the video on YouTube, because that was actually recorded and then posted. Because the stream quality, believe me, we were really in the fringe area where we had like nothing. I'm surprised we even were able to get a stream through. But anyway. It looks like we're going to have a potential severe weather event here through the week. Looks like possibly Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday through Thursday, something like that. Out in the plains, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, maybe even Arkansas, Missouri. So we're going to be repositioning for that. But first, I'm headed up here to meet with the guys from Radar Omega. And we're going to talk about some stuff. Their headquarters is in Atlanta, so I'm making my way up to Atlanta. So I'm going to keep the stream up for the next hour or so. And first of all, thank you everybody who watched the stream yesterday, did the super chats, did the PayPal thing. Very appreciated. That really helps. That takes a big chunk out of our streaming costs, because it's ridiculous how expensive the data and the fuel is. So. But anyway, yesterday we picked that storm there. When it was, I believe the town was near Smithville, and we made the decision. Well, when I say we, I mean us as the stream collectively. We made the decision to go after that storm, and it was the right one. We found that open area near that pipe fitting company. Saw that huge wall cloud coming. For a minute, I thought it was going to be a giant wedge. We ended up with this tiny little drill bit tornado that spun up and went through, and it was up and down several times, and then another storm ended up forming and actually dropped a tornado that was a separate storm that we caught on I-75, a very weak, small tornado. Yeah, I have more video. The video that I have, or that was on stream, and the video that's posted, that's just some of the highlights from the handheld camera. The stuff coming off of the main camera and the GoPro from outside of the car is pretty insane. So I just need a little bit of time to get that edited together nicely, and I should have time to do that tomorrow or the next day. I've got some media interviews to do tomorrow, so that's going to kind of put a damper be watching for that. It could get interesting. But that was a pretty intense storm, but it looks like nobody really got hurt from it. There was one house that got damaged. A lot of the roof was ripped off, trees down, but minor damage. So at least we didn't have a bunch of homes ruined or anything, so that's always good. But it was definitely a very photogenic tornado. That's not something I would expect out here in Georgia. That's something I would expect to see in Kansas or anything, because we have the all the tree cover around here. It's not as bad here as it is in, say, southern Alabama or central Mississippi, but still. If that mud road wouldn't have been a mud road, we would have continued down that road a little ways. But I didn't want to chance it. Intercepted that tornado yesterday was south of the town of Leslie, Georgia, which was also southwest of Cordell. So this whole event took place about 20 or 30 miles west of I-75. Yeah, that was something. I was not expecting that, but that was a very photogenic storm. Like I said, there was a lot of luck involved in that. There's a lot of skill and a lot of meteorology involved in that, but to be fair, there was a lot of luck for us to just find that clearing where there was no trees. If there would have been trees up both sides of the road there, we would have only seen that tornado for about 5 seconds when it crossed the road. But at least we were able to view it there. It took down a couple of trees by the church there. That building was a church. No damage to that from what I was told. Next week, it looks pretty consistent in the models. The GFS model is giving it a big nope, but Euro still is. Euro's been pretty consistent. I think that we'll probably see some sort of severe weather event on day 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so hang on here, day 1. What is today? Thursday? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday could be a big day for big days. Texas all the way north into Kansas, possibly Missouri and Arkansas as well. I'm not 100% sure. I'm coming up to exit 198, so mile marker 198 or so on I-75 south of Atlanta. About an hour and a half south of Atlanta. Historic or not. A lot of that's probably hype next week, but there is a good potential, a very good potential that it could be a pretty noteworthy event. Did I buy some new pants? Nope. I did dry out the other pair. They got soaked in the rain. Everything got in here got wet because I had to keep getting out of the car to spin the GoPro a different direction from when we were driving, which was really starting to irritate me. Seat got soaking wet, and it dried out last night with a fan, or this morning rather with a fan. Left the windows cracked at the hotel a little so it'd air out a bit. But today I think the severe weather threat's going to wind down in Florida. Still that slight risk and the possibility of an isolated tornado or a couple of them up there in North Carolina, eastern North Carolina. Yeah, hello everybody, thanks for joining. We're kind of talking about our tornado yesterday. I went back and watched the stream, and I couldn't believe it. We had that we hit that dead zone where we went to a black screen there for a minute as we were driving up to it, and then all of a sudden, bam! We got signal back when I was stopped, and we had the tornado right in front of us. I'm like, wow, talk about timing. We got really lucky. Car's got factory rims on it. That's sneaky. Yeah, I appreciate everybody with the compliments yesterday and everybody watching, super chats and all that. It meant a lot. But yeah, I'm going to have much better video coming, but it's all the video that I need to edit and do some color correction on and all that, because it's from the camera outside the car, and it caught some really cool shots of that tornado. Excited to get that video posted. That'll take a couple of days, but I did post about a 3-minute highlight video yesterday, and there is a pretty, if you haven't seen it, there's about a pretty amazing like 15-second clip where that tornado wasn't shown on the stream because we were in that dead zone, but right when I first stopped, the tornado was sliding across the road, and it hit the mud road, and it dug up a bunch of the mud, and you can actually watch the dirt and the mud circle around the tornado, and you can see the upward motion in the vortex and the funnel, and you can see it go all the way up and then eventually get slung out into the wall cloud. It's actually pretty interesting. I'm going to slow that video down, and at some point slow it down to maybe like 15 FPS so we can really analyze that. But there was a lot of violent upward motion in that tornado when it hit that mud road, because it sucked it up and it transported it up into the wall cloud and then outslung it into the outer circulation of the wall cloud. It's pretty cool. That was a very unique shot. If you saw it on the Weather Channel, that was probably actually Brandon's video. Brandon is the guy that pulled up behind me and pulled up alongside of me, so my car was in his video. We got to the tornado, or we got to the point where we stopped to film that tornado probably about 20 seconds before Brandon did. So that video was almost at the same time. I just wish it would have been in an area where we had a little bit better cell signal, so we could have got a higher quality stream through, but I'm just happy we were able to get some form of tornado on the stream. that was quite the day. And like I said, nothing. Yeah, there was some damage to that house, but nothing inside their house was damaged. It was just their roof, and it was tarp. By the time we got there, they had tarps on it already. That's kind of how we want, we want to do this. We want to see these tornadoes in the middle of nowhere so that we can get excited about seeing them. If they're not hurting people or ruining things, it's all right. I feel like it's okay to get excited to see them. So, how many miles do I put on a car? It could be anywhere between 60 and 80,000 a year, sometimes more. A lot of tires, a lot of oil, and a lot of gas. That's for sure. Making my way up toward Atlanta right now to meet with the guys from Radar Omega. If you just joined. That a preliminary EF3 in Allendale. Yeah, that's Allendale, South Carolina tornado. I never did see a rating, but if they're preliminarily rating an EF3, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I'm on 75 north probably now. I'm actually approaching the town of Locust Grove, Georgia. Specific areas, we could say that it's going to be somewhere between in an area that would include parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, possibly Missouri, and Arkansas as well. For I would say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that time frame, give or take a little. But basically, what we're watching is a pretty potent disturbance, a pretty deep trough that's coming and looks like it's going to form and move through the area that can spark some severe weather. Chasing today. We're just doing a recap, talking about yesterday. I've been trying to go live here on these drives between places, especially these places we're not analog, because a lot of people have commented that they just like watching the drive. So thought things were going to be intense before, and then they end up being absolutely nothing. And days that were going to be very really bad dead zone, apparently. Wait for it to do better. Still waiting for the cell data to pick up to what it should be here. Yeah, there's lots of stuff we need to fix on this car. We need a lot of money and a lot of time. We don't have either of them. I will dissect the instrument cluster and take a screwdriver and hammer to the door buzzer as soon as I possibly can, because I see lots of comments every time of how much it annoys you all, but I promise you it annoys me about 50 times more than it annoys you guys, because I have to listen to it all the time. You guys only have to listen to it for a couple of hours. I have to listen to it all the time, and it's driving me nuts too. So, but it's actually in the cluster. So I need to dissect the cluster and see if I can either these vehicles, it's a known issue. It's either the driver's side door switch, and it's not. I checked that. Or it's an actual issue in the cluster that's causing it to beep, and it's actually in the cluster. So I could just go to a junkyard and get another cluster, but why spend $30 when I can just take the dinger out of it? No reason. I also need to put some sway bar links on the front of this car. The sway bar links on this are junk. And you can hear the rattling and the clunking over every little tiny rock you drive over, and it's starting to drive me nuts. But they're super easy to do on this vehicle, but I'm sure they're all rusted, so I'll probably need an acetylene torch, which I don't have. So I'll probably end up spending, 10 hours trying to cut them off with a hacksaw. So that'll be real fun, I'm sure. Enter lane, okay. Alright. They got enough barricades in that lane. I think we get the hint. Mercury looks good. Tell you what, don't drive good. Well, it does, but it doesn't. I shouldn't give it too much flack. Started putting the Lucas oil stabilizer in it to thicken that oil up a little bit, and it burns a lot less now, so that's good. spilled a bunch of oil. I spilled 2 quarts of oil on the exhaust manifold yesterday morning on accident. So I'm still smelling oil, even though I did wash it off of there. It's still smelling the oil burning off the exhaust. It's pretty terrible. It's absolutely awful. Do I chase hurricanes or just tornadoes? We chase everything. Oh boy, we're stopping. Hold on. Nothing better than just stopping in the middle of the road here. For those of you that were following along, you know, when I ripped that exhaust off on the car going over the tree, $120 to replace all that. That guy did me a favor, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then Brandon ended up taking his car there too. We were going to replace before the flex pipe, or that little flex section on his Explorer is square. It is a square tube, so you cannot clamp a new flex pipe onto it. So we ran it over and had his fixed. I had to weld a new flex pipe on there, but that's done. So he's all fixed up. He was having alternator problems. His alternator's fine. I think it's the voltage regulator in the alternator though, because every now and then it'll stop charging. And we didn't really have time to fix it, so I showed him how to fix it. It's pretty easy to get to on there, and any monkey could do it. So he's got a set of tools with him. So I told him on the way home, if it starts giving him problems, to stop and change it. But I think he's going to be able to make it home. He's going to go home for a few days, and I think he's going to do what I'm doing and come back out. It's got rear drum brakes, and I'm pretty sure the rear brakes are not functioning. I think the wheel cylinders are stuck, and I'm going to take it somewhere and have them do that, because I don't do drum brakes. Every single time I do drum brakes, I just can't get them set right. I just don't have the patience. I just don't like drum brakes. I'm more of a, you know, just fire the parts cannon at it, replace everything kind of person, and I just don't like drum brakes. But I'm pretty sure that they're not functioning, so we'll get those fixed up. That shouldn't be that expensive. Drums, pads, wheel cylinders. The springs, yeah, exactly. That's exactly why I don't want to do them. Every time I do them, I screw them up. Now keep in mind, I have no problem putting a motor in a vehicle, but I still won't touch drum brakes. It's like I just have some sort of mental block. I just can't do it. Vehicles that, like the Mercuries, the Fords that had the 2.3 Duratec's in them are good. And really all the Duratec motors are pretty good. Anyway, folks, if you're just joining us, we're just kind of recapping what happened yesterday. I do have a preview video of the tornado that we intercepted at close range yesterday. I did Google map it from where we were to where the tree was down, and it was 800 feet. So we were 800 feet from that tornado. I would have loved to get a little bit closer, but with that mud road, we weren't going to risk it. $5 if we get the truckers to honk. I don't know. They're blowing by us pretty quick. I don't think they see us. Truckers aren't messing around on this road today. They're moving quicker than the rest of traffic. My friend Daniel, gosh dang it, come get on. This is the problem. You get these people, and it's usually not the trucks. It's usually a car. You know, that's just got to just stand on the brake pedal every now and then. Welcome to Atlanta, Lord. My friend Daniel from Australia, he's on his way back. He actually might be here now for storm chasing, so he'll be out chasing next week. Am I on 75? Yes, I am. be live for maybe another hour or so. Like I said, on the way to talk to the Radar Omega folks. We have an air horn. Yeah, Daniel should be here. He was on a plane last night. We do have an air horn. Hillbilly Paul sent me an air horn. It's a legitimate one too. It's got a little compressor and everything. But I need to get that installed. So I take a little bit of modification of the engine bay to get that thing fitted in there. I got to cut just a little bit of the radiator core support, just a little bit of it, so that I can fit the thing in there. But I'm glad I was able to take you along for the ride yesterday. I wasn't expecting that. Storm Prediction Center had that 10% risk. So some of these weather models just weren't showing, a super strong 850 jet, 850 millibar jet. I mean, there was one there. I wasn't very impressed with the setup yesterday. I was kind of surprised that the Storm Prediction Center had that 10%, but it's a good thing they did, because they had it in the right spot, that's for sure. They did a great job with that. So I'm glad we did chase yesterday. I'm glad I picked southwest Georgia, because my initial target was northeast Georgia, right along the South Carolina border, because I thought they were going to get discrete supercells up there and get hammered again up there. But I decided to stay in southwest Georgia. Made the right decision. Yeah, I knew that there was a larger tornado that did damage somewhere yesterday. I forgot the name of the town, but it was in Georgia, I believe. And of course, we had the one up in Allendale, South Carolina, the day prior. Atlanta traffic? I have no idea. I have driven through Atlanta like one other time in my life. Yeah, I'd never chased down here. I think this is the first time I've ever actually chased in Georgia. We were live streaming. It was that night that I ended up in Florida, and remember, we couldn't, if any of you were around, we couldn't find any gas because all the gas stations were closed and the pumps were off, and I was starting to get really nervous because we were like out of gas in Lake City, Florida. That night we started in Dothan, Alabama, and drove through Georgia to get to the storms, but I don't think I've ever actually chased a storm in Georgia. I might have, but I don't think so. There was a company that was going to send me one, and then they just I've lost all communication with them. They're $500, and I don't really have have and want is different. I guess I don't want to go below the $500 at Best Buy on a 360 camera at the moment. But it's definitely on the list. I think I'm going to try to get one before May to put on the car. And then a couple storm chasers are putting them on 12 to 14 inch pipes to get them elevated on top of the car just a little bit. So if you're driving by other cars, it's up above them a little bit, so you can. But yeah, I'm working on the 360 because that would have been awesome. Let's see what a drive I got here. I don't think I have that big of a drive. How long did I drive? Still an hour and 15, really? 70 miles in. people were asking me in like the Twitter comments and stuff last night how I knew that store. I honestly had no idea about that store. It was, like I said, it was partially luck. But when we saw that big wall cloud come over the hill and up onto the horizon, that side, it was pretty obvious something was going to happen there. That thing meant business. Last night, it was pretty good. I was happy with it. We had to wait a couple of minutes to get seated, to find a seat. Literally every seat was taken. I saw the traffic layer on the map. I have a feeling we're going to get stuck in traffic for a little bit. Address? Yes, but I'm never there. It makes it really tough to order Amazon packages. Like, I need a $5, basically a $5 bolt and special wig nut for one of my camera mounts off of Amazon. It's less than $6. I really need it, and I really need it like now, or for this next chase, but I might not get home. So I need to see if I can strategically ship it to a hotel, or I see Amazon has those locations where you can pick it up at like an Amazon locker or whatever, or a Kohl's or something. I might have to do that. Yeah, I don't know if the email in the on the YouTube is any good anymore, guys. I got to see what's on there, because I noticed I was missing a bunch. I should have a contact email on my website or something. Or get a hold of me on Twitter if you got Twitter. I really don't know if that email on the YouTube is any good. I have got to check that. Because a lot of people have been saying that I've been missing emails and I haven't been seeing them, so I may have some problems with that. I mean, you guys can try it, but if it doesn't come through, it's probably why. Oh yeah, we got the Discord, that's true. tornado warnings earlier in Georgia. I was planning on chasing down there, but just wouldn't have got there in time, and it looked like a pretty minimal threat. Plus, it would have put us 22 hours away or something like that from Oklahoma City. Then northeastern North Carolina today could see a tornado or two as well. Area. I don't know where, I'm not familiar with that one, honestly. Yeah, I think I saw a picture of the one that was near Clearwater with I think I saw a picture of the water spout. I think it was that one. Coming up to 285 here. How long of a drive? Probably about an hour yet. Until we hit traffic, and then it'll be 3. Decided not to chase Florida. It just didn't look like it was going to be worth the drive, honestly. Yeah, there's a plane. then after today, oh my god, this car. Should I just like put full coverage on this thing and drive it into a tree or something, or what? It's ridiculous. It does have full coverage on it. Anyway. I'm just not going to talk over it anymore. I'm just going to stop every time it does that. I'm over it. But depending on how long it takes up here with these guys, we might be installing some equipment in the car here with the Radar Omega people. So it depends on what the extent of the equipment is, and yeah, so it'll depend on how long that takes. My plan is probably, I may stay here tonight, not Atlanta. I'm going to get out of Atlanta, but I may stay in this area tonight and then start making the drive west tomorrow. Something changes, if the model's really downtrend or something, I may run home for a couple of days. I'm gonna have to kind of just play it by minute. And here's our traffic. That was coming. You know, we could probably avoid this gridlocking, or it's all because of this cop down here that's got this guy pulled over it, because everybody sees the flashing lights and they freak out and forget, all you gotta do is move over a lane. It's not that big of a deal. But anyway, if people would just leave a couple car lengths of following distance, like this, they wouldn't have to stomp on their brakes every 5 seconds. They just take your foot off the gas. I'm going to start a driving school. We should do that. I see we've got about 200 people here viewing. I think that classifies us as qualified for that HOV light over there. Not gonna lie, it wouldn't be the first time I've taken the HOV lane when I wasn't supposed to. At least we're moving 30 miles an hour. That's better than I thought we were going to be moving. Beats 0. the Atlanta traffic. Whereabouts are you? Because I'm stuck in Atlanta traffic also.
Really? What's got you heading up this way? I thought you were kind of hanging out down there. Is that where you're going to get to Oklahoma? I'm at the 263 on 75 northbound. I went to go swing by the Weather Channel, but they have really ramped up their security since the last time I went there in person.
I'm at the 247 mile marker exit, so not too terrible far from you. No, I'm heading up there to Omega, northeast of Atlanta, and it's bad up here. I think you're behind me, correct?
No, I think you're behind me, 243. I think the numbers go up here, but I'm like, stop. This is ridiculous.
Well, that's not very encouraging if I got 20 more miles of this garbage.
But if you're going to northeast Atlanta, I'm coming out on the northwest side right now, so we're in different locations. Well, on 75, it cleared up for a little bit. It was good for a while, but now it's stopped again, and it's just getting ridiculous. Like, my ETA just keeps getting backed up and backed up. Originally, it was like 9:30, now we're to 10:30, and I still got to stop for like 15 minutes to do that interview with the Weather Channel.
Saw that too when I drove by.
Yeah, I also realized I got to go into my account stuff with my credit card I've been using starting to get declined.
Yeah, I get real sick of hotels doing that. I'm going to start carrying like $200 cash just for hotels, just to do, because a lot of times the cash deposit they'll do for $150. It just gets old. I hate that, especially if you're at a hotel for like 7 nights in a row and you end up having like $700 on your credit or debit card locked up for the deposits. It gets real old. Take your exhaust.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I've got to take a leak and I'm starving right now, so it's quite annoying.
Yep, I understand that. You know, not knowing what to do with. Yeah. I still don't know how you got that far ahead of me, because I was right behind you on 75 there for a little bit. How long's your drive home?
Well, in total it was 12 hours, but let's see what my GPS says. Hold on. GPS says I still have 10 and a half hours to go, and I just pulled up Google Maps, and it says the reason for the slowdown right now is an accident, and it's going to be a 34-minute backup.
Where's the accident at? Guys, we're coming up to 85. Making our way
between exits
Atlanta.
268 and 269, and I am looking at the 264 right now.
Okay, maybe that's what's causing all of this then. Yeah, it's not too bad back here, but it's still pretty bad. headed northeast of
Yeah, I'm just more
Atlanta.
annoyed than I mean, it's not horrible, but I'm just like, I prefer when I'm driving this long, just be able to take cruise and just get going and get closer to home. This crap really gets annoying. Hopefully I don't have to deal with any other of it the rest of the way home. I mean, I should be in fairly rural parts of eastern Kentucky later during rush hour, so that shouldn't be much of an issue at least.
Oh, it's taking you up through Kentucky.
Oh yeah, my GPS is straight up 75.
Well, that works out already, or all right anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I literally, since we got on the interstate, all I have to do is stay on 75, and that takes me to my house. I'm literally the last exit off 75 in Ohio before you cross into Michigan, and then you make a right turn, go about a quarter of a mile, make another right turn, go like 100 yards, make another right turn, and that's my neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm just getting on to 85 now, so hopefully I won't have to deal with that mess you had.
Hopefully 85 is not that bad. It really do, but I think I went there a couple years ago. Their parking lot's just wide open, and you can just pull in and go walk up the security gates and all that crap. Other than that, I'm not gonna go harass anybody. Like, what's the point of that?
Go find Charles.
Yeah, I figure with him being down south that he would have went and visited the station, but I guess not. I don't know. I haven't seen people anywhere around. I was kind of shocked.
All right, everybody, we are headed to Radar Omega headquarters. Earlier in the stream, we were discussing yesterday's tornado. I do have that video posted. We're moving through Atlanta right now, and I'm going to keep the stream active till we get a little bit closer, just for the heck of it.
Yeah, let me know how that goes with Radar Omega too. It's all they're required to set me up as well for everything.
Just about missed my exit, and that would have made me mad. But yeah, I'll go up here and figure out what's going on. I don't know if I'm going to have to stop for lunch at some point. Coming up into the Brookhaven area, we are on I-85 right now in Atlanta. This might be 400. I don't know where I'm at. Yeah, this is Highway 400. this afternoon, or this evening and tonight to go through that GoPro video. I did actually watch it last night. I just didn't have any time to get it put together. But I did watch it from yesterday. It has really, really nice shots on it. I'm excited to post them. I'll go through some of the model data and I'll make some sort of a post by tomorrow morning what I expect over the next few days, or the next early part of the week. I do believe that after today, I think that tomorrow and the next day are going to be fairly quiet. You can't merge into a lane when there's a car there. Cripes. Can you imagine how many views this video would have got if that guy would have hit me? He puts his blinker on and then he just jerks his... I always laugh at that though, when you know, like somebody almost causes an accident and it's clearly their fault, and then they give you the WTF arm or the finger, and it's like, what are you talking about? It was your fault. Somebody that wouldn't do it for a fortune and a half first. That was tough. Really tough. Everybody somebody wanted to order the Ford factory part for like $2,000, and I'm like, no, that's horse crap. You get an aftermarket one with a legitimate warranty on it for a fifth of that. That's what I'm doing, that's for sure. That's gonna stay at home though. We're gonna continue driving vehicles like this. Considered trying to find like a, I don't know, maybe even a little bit newer Ford Explorer, like before they went to the new body styles, something like that. But driving these older vehicles are cheap and easy to fix. Like for example, if the alternator on this thing goes out right now, I could just pull into an AutoZone, or well, no, AutoZone sucks. We could pull into an O'Reilly's or a Napa and buy an alternator for $150 and put it on with a couple of tools in like an hour. Instead of taking it to a dealer and waiting 3 days for them to order a part, $1,000 to put it in. Yeah, the gas is a little more expensive driving in these older vehicles because the gas mileage isn't as good. But I think in repair costs and reliability, you pay off. Like I said, it's not even about the repair cost, really. It's about the ability to repair. I mean, you know, all power steering pump goes out on this, okay. The hardest part is going to be, you know, finding the socket to do it and not dropping it into the motor. You know, it's easy stuff. It's all easy. Brakes are easy. Everything's easy on these. So if we're on the way to a storm chase and we break down, we can fix it and then continue our way to the storm chase instead of just throwing our hands up and saying we're screwed. risk there in Florida, down to a marginal risk in Florida. So they northeast of Atlanta now, going up Highway 400. Alright, so we're about 20 minutes from where we need to go. I'll leave the stream up for a minute. But anyway, like I said, I'm not really expecting anything for, major severe weather here today. Could have a couple of storms reach severe limits up there in eastern North Carolina. However, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're expecting severe weather, possibly a noteworthy event. From portions of Texas, Oklahoma, into Kansas, as well as parts of Arkansas and maybe even northwest Louisiana. Couldn't even get a portion of Missouri in there too at some point. Thanks everyone who followed along yesterday. It was quite the day. Looks like we may have a chance to get some more tornadoes on video here Monday through Wednesday. I think after Wednesday, maybe even Thursday, I think after that it's going to quiet down a little bit. At least for a little while. A couple of days. But remember, we're getting into peak severe weather season here, so this is fully expected. Why is the camera blurry? Cell phone service. If we're in an area with poor service, quality is going to be lower. right now I'm just using my phone to stream. For these quick streams, it's a lot easier to just throw the phone up in the dash and use the YouTube system to stream versus actually running it through the server or anything and using DHEVC for better quality. So that's why a lot of times these driving streams are of lower quality, just because it's not as important and it's just easier and cheaper to not run it through the server. Yeah, the reflections, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. We've got a polarizer on the over the lens, a CPL filter, and it cuts out a lot of like right up on the windshield with this thing too. Like I can't get it any closer. I think a lot of it's got to do with the angle of the windshield. It's kind of a pain. Waiting for the stream to be a little more stable there. I'm gonna get out of here, everybody.